All right, you know that feeling, right? When the pavement ends and the dirt starts calling.
Oh, yeah.
When you're craving that machine that just devours anything you throw at it.
Yeah.
Tight woods, wide open trails, hills, you name it.
Absolutely.
Well, today we're diving deep into a bike built for exactly that.
Ooh, oh,
It's
explain.
the 2025 Yamaha WR250F.
Nice. The WR250F, huh? A classic.
And based on what we've got here, it looks like Yamaha's really aiming to make this one a top contender.
For real. Okay, yeah, let's see what they've got.
We've got this article that breaks down a lot of the key details, and I think by the end of this, we'll know if it lives up to the hype.
Sounds good. What's the game plan?
We'll break down the standout features, really get into what makes this bike tick, and figure out if it's worth your hard-earned cash.
Perfect. Let's get into it.
So first things first, overall, what's the vibe? What's Yamaha trying to do with this bike?
Well, they're really pushing it as a top-tier off-road performer.
Okay, top tier, I like it.
Yeah, the article emphasizes lightweight handling, but with plenty of power, and they've also packed in some pretty slick tech.
Okay, so it's not just a one-trick pony.
No, not at all.
It sounds like they're going for the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
To be that top-tier performer, there have to be some key components making it happen, right?
Right. The article specifically calls out three main things.
Okay, hit me.
First, you've got the 250cc liquid-cooled engine, which is pretty standard for this class.
Right.
But then there's the advanced suspension system, which is where things start to get interesting.
Ooh, okay, I'm intrigued.
And then, of course, the whole design is just built tough, specifically for off-road, so you know it's meant to take a beating.
I'm starting to get the picture here.
It's like they took the core DNA of an off-road bike and just enhanced it.
But this off-road world is pretty diverse. Who are they targeting with this bike specifically?
Yeah, good point. The article breaks it down into two main groups.
Okay, let's hear it.
You've got your trail riders who want something nimble and fun, but still with enough oomph to handle the tough stuff.
Makes sense.
And then on the other end, you've got your enduro racers.
The serious folks.
Exactly. They need a bike that can handle competition, so it needs to be durable and high-performing.
So it's got to be playful but tough.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a delicate balance. I like that.
Yeah, and it seems like Yamaha's trying to nail it with the WR250F.
Okay, so we've got this idea of who it's for, but let's get into the specifics. What are the main features that really stand out?
All right, well, right off the bat, they highlight that 250cc liquid-cooled engine.
We talked about that, yeah.
But what's cool is that it's got both electric start and fuel injection.
Okay, now we're talking. Electric start is a lifesaver on the trails.
For sure, especially if you stall on a hill or something.
No one wants to be kicking forever in that situation.
Yep.
And fuel injection, that's got to be nice for consistent power, right?
Absolutely. No matter the conditions, you're getting smooth, predictable power.
That's key. What else?
Then you've got a lightweight aluminum frame to keep the weight down.
Gotta be nimble.
And of course, that advanced suspension we talked about.
Okay, we'll dive into that more later.
They've also included a digital display, which is pretty standard these days, but still nice to have.
Right, keeps you informed.
And full LED lighting.
Nice. I'm all about that good visibility.
Yeah, it's not just about looking cool, it's a safety thing too.
So we've talked about the nuts and bolts. What about the look and feel, the aesthetics of this bike?
Well, visually, it's very much a Yamaha.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's got that signature blue and white color scheme.
Classic Yamaha.
And the bodywork is sleek, aggressive. You know, it looks fast, just standing still.
I like it. What about that exhaust?
Oh, yeah, it's high-mounted, which gives it a really sporty look.
Form, function.
Exactly. We'll talk more about that later.
But aesthetics are only part of the equation, right?
Right.
I mean, when you're out there on the trails for hours, comfort is crucial.
For sure. And the article dives into that, too. They talk about the ergonomics.
Okay, so what's the verdict? Is it a comfortable ride?
It sounds like they put a lot of thought into it. They mention a narrow and well-padded seat.
That's essential for those long rides.
Yeah, and the handlebars and foot pegs are positioned for an aggressive riding posture, but not so much that you'd be cramped on a long ride.
Gotta find that sweet spot.
Right, it's all about minimizing fatigue and maximizing control.
So are there any design features that really jump out at you?
Yeah, there are a few things that stand out.
I'm all ears.
First, the LED lighting. It's not just about looking modern. It actually provides really great visibility.
Especially important for those early morning or late evening rides.
Definitely. Then there's that high-mounted exhaust we talked about.
Right.
It's not just for looks. It gives you a lot more ground clearance, so you can tackle those obstacles without worrying about smashing your pipe.
Smart.
And finally, that slim bodywork, it keeps the weight down and makes the bike super maneuverable, which is crucial when you're navigating tight trails.
All right, so let's get to the heart of it, the engine. What can you tell us about the WR250F's power plant?
Well, it's a 250cc liquid-cooled single, pretty standard for this class of bike.
Sure, but what makes it special?
The article really emphasizes its strong low-end torque and smooth power delivery.
Okay, so it's not all about top-end speed.
No, this is about control and precision, especially in technical off-road situations.
So you've got that grunt when you need it.
Precisely, and it's not going to surprise you with sudden bursts of power.
That's good. You don't want to be wrestling the bike.
It's all about having power you can actually use.
And how do the specific features contribute to this user-friendly power?
Well, we've already talked about the electric start, which is just pure convenience.
Always a plus.
But the fuel injection is also key here. It ensures that the engine performs consistently across a wide range of conditions.
So altitude, temperature, all that doesn't really matter.
Exactly. You're getting reliable power no matter what.
Love that. What about the transmission?
It's a wide ratio transmission, which is really important for versatility.
Okay, break that down for me.
So you've got those low gears for crawling over rocks and stuff.
Right.
But you also have higher gears for when you can open it up a bit.
So it's not just a one-trick pony.
No, it can handle pretty much anything you throw at it.
So paint me a picture. I'm out on the trail. What's it like to ride this thing?
Okay, so picture this. You're on a rocky technical trail, and you need precise control to pick your lines.
Okay, I'm there.
That's where that low-end torque shines. It lets you navigate those obstacles with confidence.
Nice.
Then you hit a section of mud or loose terrain, and suddenly that lightweight design comes into play.
Keeps you from getting bogged down.
Exactly. You've got the agility to maneuver and the stability to stay upright.
Sounds like a recipe for fun.
It really does.
And what about the sound? I know for a lot of riders, that's a big part of the experience.
Oh, yeah. The article mentions the deep, throaty roar of the exhaust. It definitely adds to the excitement, and that high-mounted exhaust is tuned to sound extra good.
Music to my ears.
It's all part of the sensory experience.
So beyond the engine itself, the article also talks about cutting-edge technology. What exactly are they referring to?
Well, it's not just about raw power anymore. It's about how that power is managed and controlled.
Smart features.
Exactly, and how information is presented to the rider.
Okay, I'm following.
So, for example, they've got this advanced digital display.
I think we touched on that before.
Yeah, but what's cool is that it's designed to be easily readable, even in direct sunlight.
That's a must-have.
Right, you need to be able to see your speed, RPMs, gear position, all that, without taking your eyes off the trail.
Safety first.
Absolutely.
What about those rider aids like traction control and stuff?
Oh, yeah, the WR250F has got some good ones.
Fill me in.
First up, traction control. This is a big one.
I can imagine.
It helps prevent the rear wheel from spinning out on slippery surfaces, so you don't lose control.
Especially helpful for those of us who like to push it a bit.
It's like a safety net for your throttle hand.
I like it.
Then there's the adjustable engine mapping. This is really cool.
Okay, engine mapping. What's that all about?
So it basically lets you customize how the engine delivers its power.
Really? So you can tune it for different types of terrain.
Exactly. If you're on a tight technical trail, you might want a smoother power delivery.
Right, you don't want to be too jerky.
But if you're on an open fire road and you want to go fast, you can switch to a more aggressive map.
So it's like having multiple bikes in one.
It's a game changer for adaptability.
And what about those LED lights? Anything special about them?
Well, we talked about the visibility aspect, which is obviously huge.
Yeah, can't beat good lighting.
But they also contribute to the bike's modern aesthetic.
It's all about the details.
It's a nice touch.
So what other tech features are worth mentioning?
Well, there's the electric start, which is always appreciated.
Convenience is king.
And the suspension is fully adjustable, so you can really dial it in for your weight and riding style.
That's important for getting the most out of the bike.
Absolutely. And they've used lightweight components throughout the bike, which helps with handling and agility.
It's all connected.
Yamaha really seems to have thought of everything.
Okay, let's talk handling and suspension. I mean, that's critical for any off-road bike.
Couldn't agree more. You can have all the power in the world, but if the bike doesn't handle well, it's all for nothing.
So what's the story with the WR250F?
Well, it all starts with that lightweight aluminum frame.
We've heard that before.
It's a great foundation. It provides rigidity for stability, but also enough flex to absorb impacts and make it agile.
Okay, makes sense. What about the suspension components themselves, the mentioned KYB, right?
Yeah, KYB is a top name in suspension, and they've equipped the WR250F with fully adjustable units.
Nice. So what do we have up front?
You've got 48mm inverted forks, which are known for their stiffness and ability to handle big hits.
So they can take a beating.
And at the rear, there's a monoshock with adjustable preload.
Preload, remind me what that does again?
It basically lets you fine-tune how the rear of the bike sits under your weight, like adjusting the springs on a car.
Got it.
The key takeaway here is that you have a lot of control over how the suspension behaves.
So you can personalize it to your riding style.
Precisely, and to the terrain you're riding on.
That's crucial for getting the most out of the bike.
It's all about that personalized setup.
What about stopping power? Brakes are just as important as going fast.
Oh, absolutely. You need to be able to scrub speed quickly and safely.
So what's the setup on the WR250F?
It's got a high-performance braking system with dual 270mm discs up front.
Wow, that's some serious stopping power.
And a 240mm disc at the rear.
Okay, so no shortage of braking force.
They're paired with Nissan calipers, which are known for their quality and performance.
So you can rely on them when you need them.
You've got all the control you need.
And finally, the wheels and tires. What are we working with here?
It's got the standard off-road setup, a 21-inch spoked wheel up front, and an 18-inch spoked wheel in the rear.
Tried and true.
Yeah, and it comes with knobby tires for maximum grip on loose surfaces.
Gotta have that off-road traction.
It's all about keeping the rubber side down.
So we talked a lot about the bike itself, but let's talk about the competition. How does the WR250F stack up against its rivals?
All right, well, the article specifically compares it to the KTM 250 XC-F and the Honda CRF 250 RX.
Two heavy hitters in the off-road world.
For sure. So starting with the KTM, the main difference seems to be in the engine character.
Okay, how so?
The Yamaha has that smoother, more linear power delivery that we talked about,
Right.
whereas the KTM is known for being a bit more aggressive, more explosive.
So it's a matter of preference.
Exactly. Some riders love that snappy power, others prefer something more manageable.
And what about the tech features? Any differences there?
One big advantage for the Yamaha is that it comes with traction control.
And the KTM doesn't.
Apparently not.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a nice safety net to have, especially in tricky conditions.
Agreed. Anything else worth noting in that comparison?
The article suggests that the Yamaha might be a bit more affordable than the KTM, although pricing can vary.
Okay, so potentially a better value.
It's worth considering.
All right, what about the Honda CRF 250 RX? How does it compare?
In this matchup, the Yamaha seems to have the edge in overall performance, particularly in handling.
Interesting. Why is that?
The article highlights the Yamaha's agility and more precise cornering.
Probably thanks to that lightweight design and adjustable suspension.
Exactly. And visually, the Yamaha is said to have a more rugged, race-inspired look.
So it's got the looks to match its performance.
And let's not forget Yamaha's reputation for reliability.
Yeah, they've got a good track record.
They build bikes that last.
So summing it all up, what makes the WR250F stand out in this crowded market?
It's a combination of things, really.
Do it on me.
First, you've got Yamaha's heritage. They've been building off-road bikes for a long time, and they know what they're doing.
Experience counts.
Then there's the technology, features like traction control that some competitors lack.
Those can be game changers.
And finally, it's just a versatile bike. It can handle a wide range of off-road riding, from casual trails to enduro races.
So it's a jack of all trades, master of some.
That's a good way to put it.
All right, let's talk money. What's the price tag on this beast?
The MSRP is $8,500 USD.
Okay, not cheap, but not outrageous either.
It's a premium bike, but it seems like you're getting your money's worth.
And when can we expect to see it in dealerships?
Early 2025 is the target release date.
So not too far off.
But if you're really eager, you can probably pre-order it in late 2024.
Always a good idea to get your name on the list.
Yamaha also usually offers some financing options, so that can help make it more manageable.
Good to know. All right, let's recap. What are the main pros and cons of the 2025 WR250F?
On the plus side, you've got that powerful engine with its smooth power delivery and plenty of low-end torque.
Checks that box.
The lightweight and agile design is a big plus.
Makes it fun to ride.
The advanced tech features like traction control and engine mapping are great to have.
Adds to the versatility and safety.
And of course, Yamaha's reputation for reliability is always a good thing.
Peace of mind.
Now, on the downside, the price is a consideration. It's not the most budget-friendly bike out there.
That's fair.
And like all off-road bikes, it requires regular maintenance, which can add up.
The price of fun.
And while it does have electric start, the article mentions that some competitors might have more advanced starting systems, although it doesn't go into detail about what those are.
Okay, so maybe a slight disadvantage there.
But overall, it seems like a pretty solid package.
All right, so after this deep dive into the WR250F, what's the final verdict?
Based on everything we've learned, it seems like Yamaha has a real winner on their hands.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a great bike.
It's powerful, agile, packed with technology, and built to last.
It ticks a lot of boxes.
It really does. It seems like a worthy contender for that off-road champion title.
All right, so now I want to turn it over to you, the listener. Put yourself in the rider's seat.
I like it.
Imagine you're on the WR250F. Where are you? What kind of adventure are you having? What trail are you conquering?
That's the dream.
And thinking about everything we've discussed, what feature or aspect of this bike really stands out to you, the one that makes you say, I need this in my life?
It's all about finding that perfect match, that bike that fits your riding style and your dreams.
So until next time, keep the rubber side down and we'll catch you on the trails.